There are moments in life that don't look dramatic when they happen. No music swelling, no big realization that changes everything overnight, just a sentence. And yet somehow, that sentence stays with you for decades. One of the most profound things anyone has ever said to me wasn't advice. It wasn't a solution. It wasn't even meant to be memorable. It was simply this: there is nothing wrong with you. I'm Clay Johnson, and welcome back to the podcast. Today I want to talk about something that happened to me almost 25 years ago, and why it still matters to me today. Not because it fixed my life, but because it gave me something I didn't realize I was desperately missing. I was about 25 years old. I'd been in the working world for a few years, in a sales role that I knew deep down wasn't right for me. I hated the work. I didn't know what I wanted to do instead. And I felt stuck between needing a paycheck and knowing I was slowly shrinking in the job I had. Money was tight. I was struggling to pay my bills, juggling responsibilities, and constantly doing mental math just to get through the month. At the same time, things with my family were difficult. They were struggling to accept certain things about me, and that tension weighed heavily on me, even when it wasn't spoken out loud. From the outside, I probably looked like a young adult figuring things out, but internally, life felt messy and unstable. Nothing felt solid. Nothing felt certain. My career didn't make sense. My personal life felt fragile. My sense of direction was foggy at best. And somewhere in all that confusion, I started to believe that the chaos meant something about me, that my life felt this hard, this unsteady, this unclear, then surely I must be the problem. One day, I was standing outside the office where I worked. I remember being mentally exhausted, the kind of tired that comes from carrying everything in your head all the time. And I was talking to one of my managers, someone I trusted. I told her what was going on, the pressure, the uncertainty, the fear that I was falling behind before I'd even properly started. She listened, and then she looked me straight in the eye and said, "There is nothing wrong with you." I had never heard that before, not that clearly, not that directly, and it stopped me in my tracks because I didn't realize how much of my energy was being spent trying to diagnose myself, trying to find the flaw that explained why everything felt so hard. That one sentence didn't fix my finances, it didn't magically clarify my career, it didn't even repair my family relationships, but it gave me something far more important in that moment: relief. What she was really saying was, you are not broken because your life feels unstable. You're not failing because you haven't figured it out. You're not behind because you're struggling. Sometimes life is messy, and that mess is not a character flaw. For the first time, I could separate what I was experiencing from who I was. That moment happened nearly 25 years ago, and I can still hear her voice when I need it. I make a point every year or two to reach out and thank her because she had no idea how much those words would matter. She probably thought it was just a kind thing to say. For me, it became an anchor. And this is why I wanted to share this today, because I know there are people listening who feel unsettled right now. Maybe your work doesn't make sense anymore. Maybe money feels tight and stressful. Maybe your family relationships are complicated. Maybe your life feels messier than you expected it to be at this stage. And maybe, underneath all of that, you keep asking yourself, what's wrong with me? So let me say this clearly and without conditions. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken because life feels unstable. You are not failing because you don't have a clear plan. You are not behind because you're still figuring things out. Sometimes the most honest thing we can say is, this is a hard season and I'm still okay. If no one has ever said this to you, or if you need to hear it again today, remember this moment. There is nothing wrong with you. And maybe that sentence will stay with you for the next 25 years too.